Hello everyone, welcome back to the FLL Mind Builders YouTube channel. Today, we are going to be doing many things in this video. We're going to make improvements to our robot. We are going to build our first frame and compare it to the FLL Mind Builders frames that we used during the City Shaper seasons. And along with me, I have one of my good friends and a member from the FLL Mind Builders team, Om Patel, who will be talking about frames and attachments later in this video. Now, let's get started. So now let's start making improvements to our robot. So as you can see here, I only have one wheel. This is because I have extended the axle, so it'll be around a 9-sized axle here, just slightly bigger. And I'm going to show you how what we did on this side, but make sure to duplicate and redo that on the other side again. So let's start. So as always, you always put your axle in first. Put the axle in. All right, now that the axle is in, you're going to take your 3-hold mechanism. This is pegs on opposite ends. Your 3-hold mechanism. Just put it in, and you're going to put it in just like that. Make sure it's in the peg holes right on top of the axle. And with our motorcycle wheel here, we're just going to push it in. And that is our improvement. Make sure to redo this on the other side. Guys, I created a slide deck called for frames and attachments. I'm going to tell you all about it. So frames are structures that go around your robot and support attachments. And frames help attachments solve missions. And there are 3 things that you need to know when you're building your frame. So there's sturdiness, gear systems, and if it fits. For sturdiness, is can it endure a run? Can it endure getting hit by something? Can it endure many other things? A gear system is where, gear systems from the motors and sensors video. 2 gears mesh to make something happen. And if it fits, is your frame a perfect size for your robot so that it can go around your robot? Not too big or not too small. Attachments have many purposes with them. As I said before, frames support attachments. Attachments can do anything. It can be an arm that pushes something, an arm that picks up something, anything. And for example, in the competition, we added attachments for some of our missions to push stacks, to arms to push down levers. That's what attachments would be like. And there are different features for each of these attachments. There's a passive attachment and the active attachment. So passive attachments are basically they don't have a gear system. They're just plain. They don't really have a gear system. Active attachments, they have a gear system. And my friend Om will go into depth more about that later. So these are pictures of all of the City Shapers frames that I have. So there's different missions for each. And as you can see, there's active attachment. You see on the first picture to the left, top left, you see that there are arms connecting with different gear systems. That was what you would call an active attachment. Then when the one next to that picture is a passive attachment, as it doesn't have any gear system and it's just a wall guide pushing the stacks. So that is what a passive and active attachment would really look like.
Hi, my name is Om, and I am a fellow team member of Team Mind Builders. I am also very good friends with Pratik. I'm going to be talking about the difference between passive and active frames. Let's start with passive. There are 2 main differences between passive and active frames. The most noticeable one is the fact that passive frames do not use power, but active frames do. In this passive frame, it is basically a cage with pegs on the back which allow it to attach to the robot. The purpose of this frame is to push the stacks into their circle. This is an active frame. The active frame has gears on the bottom which allow it to draw power into the gear mechanisms. This active attachment over here rotates to lift the traffic jam up. This active attachment over here lifts the steel construction up. Even though this is an active frame, it contains a passive arm right here. Even though it looks small, it is used to flip the elevator. Okay, so now we're going to be building a base frame that for the bot that Pratik built in the last video. So you want to start off with a square like this. Next, you want to add 8 pegs into these positions. Here, 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 and last 2. So once you have 8 pegs, it should look like this. Next, you want to get 2 more squares, add 1 to each side. You want to add it to the side that has the has the less distance between the pegs. So it should look like this. Now you want to add 8 more pegs. 1 here, 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 and 3 more here, here, and here. Oh, sorry. So once it's done, it should look like this. Next, you want to get the extra long blue pegs, which have 1 on one side and 2 on the other. You want to put the one side into each of the corners, here and here, so you should have the 2 side on both sides. Next, you're going to want to add 2 9 beams and 1 15 beam. The 9 beam should be offset by 1. So one sec. So that the way it goes is that there's 1 extra hole on the right. And so you want to do that for the other 9 beam on the edge. And then you want to get the 15 beam, put that at the bottom so that this hole aligns with the middle hole. So it's going to go just like this. And so when that's done, there's a hole here, here. So along with the 2 holes here and here, you're going to want, from the black peg, you're going to want 1, 2 on each side. See, 1, 2. Next, we're going to be getting these pegs, which have the hole on one side and the axle on the other side. That's going to go here and here. So that's 1 hole in between the extra long pegs. Now we're going to be putting this to the side and starting with another square frame. So we're going to be adding 8 black pegs here, 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 2 on the bottom, 1 here, here. And along with these 8 black pegs, which are a bit offset, we're going to be getting another one of these peg on one side and axle on the other side and put that here. So the finished product is going to look something like this. Next, you're going to be getting 2 more squares and attaching them to each side like this and this. It should look like that. Now we're going to be adding 9 more black pegs over here, here, 3 on the bottom of each added square, one on the bottom of this added square, 1 on the inside of this square, which might be a bit tricky to put in, and 2 over here. So once that's completed, it's going to look like that. Okay, next you're going to want to take one of the extra long pieces and put that here. And it'll look just like that. Now you're going to want to take one of the 9 beams and put that over here. And so the way this is that there's 1 extra hole over here. Okay, so now, as like we like to call them on the team, we like to call these llamas, and they're one of these right angle pieces that have 3 holes one way, 2 holes the other, and 4 pegs, and it's gonna go right here. Now you're gonna get another 15 beam and attach that along, starting on the blue peg. Sometimes it's hard, you just gotta line these guys. And ending on the black peg, so it looks like that. Now you're going to take one extra black peg and put that right next to the blue peg that we put. Okay, now, based off of this attachment that we built in the last section, we're going to put the llama facing towards you, get this piece, and attach it like so. Now, we're going to be getting this sort of crane shape and attach that on the top over here. And so that goes like this. I'll show you once it's finished. You just gotta align the axle. So once that's done, we're gonna have the edge over here, which is connected with the pieces on the top, the llama facing towards you, facing up, and yeah. Now we're gonna be getting the 3x5 L shapes and putting them right here along the bottom, so it looks just like that.
Now, with that said, what's going to happen is we are going to start the next part of our frame. So we have a square here, or in other words, a 3x5 Technic beam. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this peg, put it in the peg holes right around here. Do the same thing at the bottom, peg holes, opposite ends. Take some time. Finally, at the top, there will be pegs. But over here, I add at the end of this peg hole right up on the top, I'm going to add a half peg and half axle and put it at the top right here. Now that is what it should look like right there. Next, you're going to take your 2 squares. You're going to push it on each end. So 1 and 2. Just like that. Next, you're going to take your peg and the peg holes. 1, 2, 3. The bottom here. Always remember, sides are very important too. Because if you have the wrong side, frame is not built correctly. Then again at the bottom, right there. This is kind of like a replica of the last one, just a little bit. There's some minor changes though. And then this one is pretty tricky to put in even for me, so, but you'll get it. It's kind of on the inside peg hole. Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. Should look exactly like that with a bunch of pegs. So guys, now we are going out with this already finished. We are going to start the next part. So you're going to take a long blue peg and put it at the bottom right next to the side with only one of the black pegs, just like that. Next, you're going to take around a 9 beam. You're just going to put it in and make sure that there's one hole that doesn't have the peg, like just like that. And again, we're going to use the llama. I like to call it chairs, but our team uses llama, so we're going to put in the llama. So that's how it's going to look. And then you take a 15 beam and you're going to put it in. Make sure that this first hole right here goes through the blue, and then you'll be good till the end. Gotta push it in. Sometimes it's really hard because there's so many pegs that's going in. All right, that's it. That's it. Then you take another a black peg, and you're going to push it in. And now, with this side done, let us attach it. So we have this already. So we're going to attach it. I want you to do this. Then you're going to put in what I like to call a 3x5 L beam. So you're going to put it under this, just like that. Hold on. It's diagonal. It's flimsy because it hasn't been attached yet, so it's kind of hard to put in. There we go. So it's just gonna go in just like that. Now that is a very sturdy frame. So now with that said, let's get started with the next part. So guys, now with that said, we are going to start the next part after we build this. So I have already created this, but this is the next part that you're going to have. It's going to be just like that. Pegs at the bottom and these type of pegs at the top. Then you're going to duplicate that. Just make sure that it's like opposite sides. So it's going to be like these two. Then you're going to take a 5-hole beam. Put 2 pegs on opposite ends. And you're going to connect them at the top. Like that. Top. Top. Next, we're going to take a 15 beam, and from the bottom pegs, you're going to push it in. Make sure it's like fully in. So you gotta push it in just like that. Make sure there's actually 1 hole off, and it's perfectly in the center. Dead center. That's what I like to call it. So now that's the next part. So you're gonna attach it to the overall frame, and it will look really, really cool. So you're gonna take the llamas and the holes right here. You're gonna put it on the bottom. That's one. And with the second llama, put it on the bottom, just like that. Now we have successfully created the entire frame. All we have to do is put it on the robot. There's some steps you have to take to do that, though. So let me clear all our leftover supplies up. And we have our robot. With this frame, we're going to take this, with the angulars right here, we're going to put it over our robot just like this. Put it over our robot. Make sure your cables don't get in the way and they're all above the robot. And you see these axles right here? You're going to push it to the end. It may be hard, but you are going to have to do that. Push it to the end and go and make sure that it goes through the peg hole. Push it. And now that you see this peg hole, see the axle is sticking, do that on both sides. It may be a little hard. Your frame may break, but if you're really, really careful, it's really, really easy to do. Now just do that on both sides. Now that's perfect. Very good. Oh, I also forgot to mention the 24-tooth gear in the front of the medium motor has to go out, so including its mini axle right here, the red axle. Just got to take it out. After some time, the axle's stuck in there. So once you've taken that out, push it forward, and now that's really, really good. So now with that said, at the end, you're gonna turn it around very carefully because you haven't anchored it well yet. You're gonna push it up at the top. See this? There are peg holes that you have. Hold on, push up the cables. There are peg holes that you have here. You're going to take a 3-hole beam. Before we had a 3-hole beam mechanism, you're just gonna put it in pegs on opposite ends. You're gonna duplicate this, put it in the peg hole. First peg hole, right about. Hold on. It takes some finger work. You'll need very small fingers, and your hands will get sweaty at some time because you've been doing lots of building work. So now that you've put it in, push it up. Hold on. Perfect. Now that's how it's gonna go. And next, you're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So let's do that right now. One of the pegs fell out. Luckily, we have more. Same mechanism. So we've done that. And that's how you really anchor your robot. So guys, I actually forgot to mention something, but remember with the axles and the wheels, so what you're going to do is, I like to call these bushings. They're going to be in the EV3 Mindstorms kit. They're small pieces that help you anchor axles in the robot. So you're going to put them in on the axles. It's really easy. I'll show you how it's done. So you're just going to put in the bushing. Helps anchor the axle, and it's just a really good way to make a design a lot more sturdy. So now that first one's in, and you'll do that with the second one. And that's it. The second one's in, and you fully anchored your robot. Now moving forward easy, moving backward easy. You fully anchored it, and that's what's gonna happen. This is your new and improved base robot.
We hope you enjoy this content. Like if you enjoy the content, subscribe if you would like to see more. We'll be posting our next video weekly, and we upload weekly. So if you would like to be notified, hit the notification bell.
So guys, as Om said in before, don't make sure to stay tuned and like and subscribe to our FLL Mind Builders YouTube channel. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. And in other videos, we'll have more members of the FLL Minders team come join me during build sessions or programming sessions. And as I said before, stay tuned for our next video, as we are going to be creating an extremely complex robot. See you then. Bye.